Defending the territory is a unique partnership of military and NGO staff, and I am right in the mix. The Peapod River and its tributaries travel from the southern Cardamom Mountains all the way to the sea, passing through some of the most pristine forest imaginable. It's a route that any adventurer would love to explore, and I'm stoked at the opportunity. But it's also a fast corridor to pull protected timber and animals out of the wilderness. We're on a routine mission designed to plug that passage.
So what drives you to do what you're doing? I mean, if people are shooting at you, it's a real struggle to communicate and get people to understand what you're doing here. There's a lot of corruption you're dealing with.
I believe that this is important things today. This field work every day in patrol in the jungle to try to keep this forest, to try to keep this animal, wildlife. It's important because if we'll stop to do it, I'll stop to do it. I mean, in the next future, I mean, this forest and this wildlife will disappear.
When another boat is spotted, we suddenly spring into action. This deep in the forest, there's a high chance they're up to no good. Turning our longtail around takes some effort, and while we're caught up in the task, the other boat seizes the opportunity, quickly ducking to the side of the river out of view. By the time we pull up alongside them, several men have fled into the forest, and cargo is missing. That night, we camp out deep in the field. The boat sits nearby, ready for action, but as the sun sets, all is quiet. Morning comes early in the jungle, but you wake up feeling refreshed. Look how refreshed I am. Today we head to a special base camp on terra firma. The facility is loaded with items seized in illegal activity. They got guns, a whole lot of guns, bunch of chainsaws, all kinds of inhumane traps and snares, and a huge fleet of cars and motorcycles. The facility was partially funded by the United States Drug Enforcement Agency. Why do they care? Well, besides loggers, poachers, and squatters, Eddie's found one other unique setup deep in the forest. Sassafras.
Yeah, it smells like sassafras. So you were on patrol deep in the jungle and you found a distillery that makes this oil. And from this oil they make ecstasy and amphetamines.
And it's taking, to go deep in the jungle, it's taking 4 or 5 days walking to these distilleries. They are really deep in the jungle and they have interest to be deep and really hard to reach these distilleries because all the equipments they bringing on their back walking, you know. And there they bring the generator, they bring it piece by piece, which they welding this big vat, huge vat, 5-6 ton vat.
Wow, and how much would a jug of this oil go for, any idea?
Maybe between $7-8 per liter.
I'm sure the drugs they make go for a lot more than that.
Yeah, definitely, of course.
Unfortunately, sassafras isn't the only tree being felled in the forest. A lot of trees are. Principally, rosewood. The dense wood can fetch up to $7,000 per cubic meter on the international market, and Wildlife Alliance has seized a fortune's worth. And there's more coming. In fact, there's a whole heap of it just across the river.
Apparently this boat and the next boat were coming down the river loaded with this rosewood, which is illegal to log. They saw the Wildlife Alliance coming down the river, and instead of facing the fine, possible prison time, they decided to sink both boats. Rosewood is so heavy it won't float. It goes right to the bottom of the ocean, or the river in this case. So they're diving down here to grab the rosewood and pull it up, and they're putting it in this boat, which they haven't salvaged yet. That boat they salvaged, and it's now part of the Wildlife Alliance team. Can I go with you, Johnny?
Dee, a Swiss-born member of Eddie's staff, hands me a mask and welcomes the extra manpower. We dive into the murky water and descend to the dark bed of the river. There I attach a rope so the Cambodian workforce can pull her up. The wood is extremely heavy, a fact that becomes very evident the minute it comes out of the water. Seems like an appropriate place to end my time with the Forest Patrol team. There's much more wood to recover, but I'm ready to move on. If the poachers slip past Eddie's patrols, they'll be headed quickly for the border. But before they cross, there's one more platoon at the last line of defense. And these guys ain't playing patty cake either.